War is a topic of vital importance, a subject of inquiry that cannot be ignored. It is a matter of life and death. It can be a road to safety or to ruin.
In an alternate version of our world, brought to the brink of total collapse, rival nations fight for global domination, and elite pilots in futuristic combat suits wage war on the battlefield of tomorrow. Now, 6 brave soldiers on a seemingly routine rescue mission will encounter more than they bargained for and uncover a dangerous secret that could change their world if they live long enough to see it. Mavericks Origins Volume 1.
Now on Indiegogo.
In demand. That's right, you can get that in demand on Indiegogo right now. So we're still waiting for Thomas to figure out his new computer to get in here, but I'm here. There I am. So there is a new Billy Tucci She Kickstarter and Indiegogo. Hey, Fat, how are you? So while we're waiting for, hey, look, my Joker's shiny right there. While we're waiting for Thomas to show up. There he is. Nice of you to make it.
Oh, dude, I was coming and then I got held up for a sec. It happens.
Tell her we got serious bullshit to talk about.
Serious bullshit to talk about? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I just finished reading the comic, dude. I'd read it before, but
doing great, Fat. Thank you.
But brought it back up to just kind of read it again because it had been so long since I had read it. Dude, and it's I didn't realize that, with Grell and everyone else in it. And it just kind of shocked me that dang gum, that Aparo and them were off of that issue.
Mm-hmm. Did you read the letters page?
Yes. Well, I didn't read the whole thing. I read good.
The very top thing about Mike Grell?
No, I didn't. What was it?
The very top at Mike Grell, I can't remember. I think it was he had just come to, they called it National because it was National Periodicals back then.
Yeah.
DC Comics stood for Detective Comics. So
yeah.
Mike Grell had just come off a stint as a not an extra, but an assistant. So like a fill-in guy.
Okay.
For the Brenda Starr newspaper strip. Like newspapers with comic strips, yeah.
Yeah.
So he was a mite young, and Adventure Comics 465, I think is the number, is Mike Grell's first work for DC.
Really?
And he said after that he was a regular on Adventure Comics with Aquaman and Legion of Superheroes.
Huh.
It's that first paragraph at the top of the letters page. Hey,
Uh-oh, you got your mail call?
I,
You got two of them, huh?
so
Sweet.
this one is from, I believe, I can't show this side to the camera. Oh no, I don't know who this is from. Oh no, this is not from. I thought this was from our friend. Why won't this thing? Oh, you got to hold it there. I wonder why. This is from Catalyst Comics. This is like a detective noir book. What in the? I got a little something.
What in the blue blazes?
That's what I'm saying. It's like blue taped, and there's like an extra surprise in there for
At
me,
least
I
the
guess.
blue tape is always not going to get you. It won't get tore up.
Mm-hmm. I got the last one of these, and it was really good. It's called One Last Job. So it's kind of like a noir, kind of like a hardcore James Bond kind of thing.
Dude, that's two good things that go good together. Oh, it does look nice. Who did
That's
it?
the cover. This is done by Aaron Doan, Jamino, and Letts from Catalyst Comics. It's a black and white book, but I mean you can't really see it here. But they put a little thing on the back. There is beauty in the creative process. We are each broken, fragmented, trying to balance the light against the monster within, somewhere between. When the monster creates, that is where the beauty shines. That's just like on the back with the logo. Then he's got some podcast things in there because this is his podcast, Beards and Comics.
Beards and Comics.
Mm-hmm. I'll just turn to the middle.
It's there's not a whole lot of gray. It's really light and dark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can tell.
And then there's this. I think it's a pin. Which would be one of the stretch goals, I think. Thank you for backing. But if you ever want to see Meredith alive again, you
got
answer
back issue 3
when we come calling. P.S. Have you ever? I can't read the writing. Have you ever seen this earring? And it's written in like really good, like, penmanship letters.
Yeah.
It's part of the mystery in the book.
Oh, cool.
So I'm
so it's kind of like a prop for the book.
Yeah, and everybody got one. So he had like a whole bunch of these made with like a special like red logo. I don't know if you can see it right there. It's so freaking tiny. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he had those made, and everybody got like this little note, and and that. And then I've got this big thing. I know you got a lot this week.
Well, most of it it's no real mail calls. It's some stuff I went out and picked up.
I was tempted by the black and whites, but I'm having enough trouble getting bookcases for the stuff that I've already got.
Than to buy more.
Yeah.
Hand me the stuff that I got right there on the desk in front of you. That stack in the box. The copy. Yeah. Why? Would she go back? And the box.
Here's the box.
You go over there back where it was. Oh God! Did they put 1 million postage? Oh God! Priority postage boxes in there.
Who else is at Walmart?
What?
Nope, but they put a whole bunch of.
Where the Funko Pops are. How did you miss this?
Huh?
Forever ago. Now it's gone.
Yeah, how did you ever miss that?
I don't know. In between running here and there, and I don't go to Walmart every day.
They put a whole bunch of styrofoam peanuts in there. So
God
I buy
almighty,
off-
dude, I hate packing peanuts.
mhm.
I'm not eating no damn packed peanuts. It's because they're packing peanuts. What'd you get?
Do you want to transfer locations and just move in with us for a while so you can settle down that headache at home?
I was gonna keep going like this, and I'll be on one of them shows like worst roommates ever or some crap.
Dead husbands are us, stuff like that.
Yeah, when rednecks snap.
Golly! So I got my name on this one, so and it's like double wrapped. So there's two guys. There's a network of guys under they call Rick Funk, but only one guy is Rick Funk. But there's like 4 guys.
They masquerade as Rick Funk.
No, they're under the same banner. If you buy anything from these 4 guys, they combine shipping on everything.
Oh, okay. I think you told me about these guys before.
Yeah. Ice cream. Oh, where's ours? Dang it.
Yeah.
You didn't miss much. I was just struggling trying to open a box with my old cripply hands. So I've never bought anything from the actual Rick Funk guy, who's a wicked nice guy, and around our age, and he's got a great store set up. But I saw these 2 magazines that he shot me a deal on, and I could not say no to from 96.
1996.
I'll take chocolate. Thomas, what kind of ice cream do you want?
Cookies and cream.
Okay, sounds good. So this is a collector's item number 1 from one of our all-time favorite artists, not named Frazetta.
Not named Frazetta.
But has the initials of BWS.
Oh my God.
You remember these?
Oh, Storyteller. I have been wanting to buy them. I didn't realize they were that big.
They're huge.
Oh.
Like
Oh my God!
this,
Really?
this cardboard is treasury size, and they're a little smaller than that.
So
this
they're
one-
full size magazine size.
Yeah, they're full size magazine size. Yeah. So as you can see, that's Barry Conan on the front cover.
Yeah,
Looking
whether
beautiful.
they admit it or not.
Mm-hmm. It's just a barbarian.
Yeah.
He had 2 of these. This one's got a lot of spine ticks on it, but
Yeah.
this one looks to be like a headshot of Thor, but naked Thor. He's just wearing his helmet because got no shirt on or nothing. But
Yeah, it does. Dude, now I need to get those. Something
see,
I've been wanting to pick up, but I haven't.
this is number 4, and this is number 1. I need to get the new Death Dealer books.
By Frazetta, or not by Frazetta, but whoever's doing it now.
Ultra Solid 10. Yes, I agree.
Did you
So that
Somebody-
is a new fan of the channel, brought to you by Seanzilla Art Show. Their dad met Sean at a show he did the other month and took some original art home, and he's doing another one at that same place very shortly again, like the end of the month.
Oh, okay.
So they're gonna go back and see him again, and they pop in, they talk in the chat, and they like the programming. Finally, somebody that likes the programming.
We try.
Yeah,
We make changes here and there, every now and then. I
So
mean,
this-
usually it's just comic stuff.
Yep, this is the pre-show. So this is OK Boomer, where we talk about back issues. This week we're doing Phantom Stranger 33, even though it felt more like a Dead Man book.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna move this earring down here because it's bugging the crap out of me, so I can put stuff flat over here. So let's see. Got my name on it. I have a very fine to near mint Brave and the Bold 134 Batman and Green Lantern, Hal Jordan,
Oh, sweet.
with some Nazi looking dude. Do not hesitate. Kill!
Looks like a Paro.
It's Brave and the Bold. Of course, it's a Paro.
He didn't do them all.
Nope.
He did a lot, though. I'm telling you, he's like Paro was DC's version of Sal Buscema.
Oh yeah.
Buscema.
See, I basically like all the stuff that I grew up with, like Bronze Age stuff.
Yeah.
I love it because it brings me back to being a kid. And
Yeah, well, I mean, Bronze Age is good reading too.
yeah, one of my favorite, not sidekicks, but guest appearance characters. From when I first discovered him early in the 70s was Black Lightning. I thought he was cool as hell because I love Legion of Superheroes, and of course, Lightning Lad was in that. They're not related, but they might write it up as being related. But I always liked Black Lightning, and if you read the info on that character, he is actually the most powerful character in the DCU.
Really?
Because much like Magneto, he can pull all the electrical power from the core of the planet and all the magnetic fields around the planet and in the planet to power up, and he could basically destroy the planet. But this is a very nice copy. Dylan and Dick Giordano did the cover. It is Justice League of America 173. With funny, very 70s wording, where Superman says, "We want you on the team, Black Lightning. With that bunch of jive turkeys in the JLA, forget it."
I think I've got that one, but I haven't read it yet. Really?
So I'm like, that's just hilarious, and I will look forward to
Jive turkeys in the JLA.
I don't want none of them jive turkeys in the JLA. I'm like, man, that makes me want to go back and stop watching Starsky and Hutch later on tonight. These guys do such a good job of packing that they take each one of your books that's already in a bag and board, and then they put it in another bag so they can label, they put your name on it. They put whoever show you bought it from, the show number and the date. So they've got them all together and itemized.
So you know where you get and everything else. I got you.
Mm-hmm. I grabbed this for $6. It's Senri Yuko, number 1, because I guess he's on top of like reprinting like the first volume of She, which he did in an omnibus. He's actually
I saw the She omnibus.
He's doing like a brand new trilogy of She. I have a question. I'm having a debate with my friends, and you don't have to answer this if you would not like to. But out of the 3 Spider-Man, which one do you think is the best? Out of the last Spider-Man movie, like the 3.
So we're talking about Tobey, Garfield, and then the new guy.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Tobey.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get rid of that crappy third movie. But now that he's the right age, though, they can start doing the Spider-Man movies I want to see, where he's not in freaking high school and he has an apartment and he can't make the damn rent. And I want to see Barbie and Bam Bam, or whatever their name was, sunbathing on the freaking roof again, and he can't get in the damn apartment, and all the chicks are hitting on him, and he can't ever go on a date because he's too busy being damn Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Boomer. Exactly.
Boomer. Name of the show. So I like Tobey for Spider-Man, but I like the new kid's Aunt May, even though she got in the last movie. But so here's this Virgin She cover.
Oh, sweet.
So that's pretty nice, because I haven't gotten any of the new stuff that he's been doing yet. But he launched the third part of the trilogy. He just launched the first issue of this third part.
Are they doing them all on Kickstarter now, or where's he doing them at?
Oh no, leave no money on the table. It's on Indiegogo, and Kickstarter.
Really?
Same thing with Graham Nolan. He starts on one and then goes to the other.
What's Nolan doing now? Did you pick it up?
I haven't picked his books up yet, but he's got a new one that I really want to get. It's like 80 or 90 pages, like square bound. He's got a bunch of different guys working on story. It's Manly Two-Fisted Tales.
That sounds fun, actually.
It's like Western themed, and everything looks like really good. There's lots of different stories in it. I picked up Joker 9 and 10 from the ongoing. There's the cover I got for 9.
Yeah.
And I really love this cover for 10. The Fran Cabell cover, burning through the card.
Huh. I haven't seen that one yet.
I thought that one was cool. And one of the guys had Dash had whoops. It hit the keyboard and made another pop-up. I'm like, don't do that.
Oh Lord.
Dash had the Joker 80th anniversary like thick book.
Yeah, the big thick one. They did was it last year?
Yeah. But it was the Art Germ cover, but it was an Art Germ Collectibles exclusive, so it was like $30, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna pass.
I didn't pick up. I think I got the Joker one, the Catwoman, and I recently picked up the Aquaman version or the Aquaman one. I haven't read it yet.
And from
I haven't read all of 4.
I picked this magazine up over Easter on one of Andy's shows. I usually buy from Andy and Dash. Dash has like a smorgasbord of everything. Andy's got a lot of like high end stuff, and he does like a lot of silver and bronze, and some newer stuff. But he was having a 35% off sale, like 35% off what asking price.
Yeah.
So I basically paid almost half price for this. He was asking $40, and he only charged me like $21.
24. Yeah.
From March 1973 is Vampirella 22.
Oh, the magazine.
Yeah.
22. Damn. It's nice looking shape too.
Yes, it's an excellent shape. This issue special 8-page Dracula full color comic section preview of the new Warren book. Warren Publishing.
Warren did a Dracula book at the time. Was it Dracula Lives? I think.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember right.
Yeah, because this was, all the old Vampirella magazines were Warren too.
Yes.
Vampires in a Vampire Battle for Blood, page 54.
Yeah, the 70s were really trying to come back with the monsters. I mean, and just bring them back. But finally, because of the damn Comics Code Authority had let up on them, so they could do that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Try and get some of the readers back.
Yeah, but only in magazines.
Only in magazines. That was the only way they could get around the authority, because they weren't comic book size, so they didn't fall under the look. That's how Savage Sword and such has nudity in it, because it's a magazine.
Mm-hmm. So this one, the first one, is art by Jose Gonzalez and story by Steve Englehart.
Englehart and Gonzalez, huh? Man. Dude, Englehart did a lot of good stuff, especially in that time. Well, that's 73, so that's before he left to go on to Cap, which I know he wrote forever. Is that Gonzalez?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Dude, he's like, they got God, I saw it. I think they're releasing a new version of it. The collected art of Gonzalez for Vampirella, nice. Artist edition. Yeah.
This next one is art and story by Esteban Marato. Really good stuff. All the ads for Erie. Lots of Barnabas Collins ads in here.
Barnabas Collins.
And this is an exclusive 8-page preview of Warren Publishing's all-new, full-color, 120-page book of suspense, horror, and fantasy, Dracula. So this, if you want to go by what all the speculators are doing now, like with that DC, like with that DC Comics Presents with the Titans thing in the back of it before they launched the book.
Yes.
This would be the first 26. Appearance of Dracula for Warren Comics, and it's in full color.
Dude, that's cool.
Oh, man.
Who's the artist?
Esteban Morato.
Really? Same guy. Huh.
And then there's like another one afterwards. Art by Aurelian and story by John Jacobson.
See, that's the whole thing, man. Those magazines used to give you money worth. I mean, so many stories.
Yep. Ads for Star Trek books back here, some of which I've been buying.
The magazines or the books, like the logs?
This is an ad for the logs, like Star Trek 2, 3, 4, 5, because they were all numbered.
I have most of them. Somebody's said they were getting to be worth money now, but yeah, I've got most of the logs. And the thing that's cool about them is it's the prose version of the episodes.
Yeah,
the first however many 10 or 20 of them are anyway.
And this last one is art by Felix Maas and story by Ed Newsom. But speaking of stories.
Sounds familiar. Yep.
Let's get into this week's story.
Yep. Gotcha.
Wow, that one's
all right
compared to mine.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, when you find what you got, it's actually worse than my copy, and my copy was not that great. But yeah, Phantom Stranger. This issue, Dead Man's Bluff, Phantom Stranger number 33. And, there's an ad. Cover date is 1974, October to November 1974.
I was 3.
3?
Yeah, I was 3 years old.
Yep. Dead man, hear me now. You have trapped yourself in an eternal snare of self-righteous revenge. I love how Dead Man's just like, get off my back. Spouting your eternal truths. Of course, it just shows conveniently his leg covers up the born and dead dates. Script by Arnold Drake, art by Mike Grell. It says art by Mike Grell, so we're going to make the assumption that he does the inking and the penciling, and maybe even the coloring, because it doesn't have any. Usually, it would say a color. Editor Joe Orlando. What's bad about it is if it says, because sometimes back in the old days, if it said art like this, they literally had to do everything, which means if that's true, then Grell, if on this issue, then Grell probably had to do the lettering as well.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the old school pencilers and inkers had to do their own freaking lettering. But yeah, I'm a simple guy. I just want blood for the guy who killed me. Of course, I love a lot of the old Phantom Stranger books. When you read them like this, they have a cool splash page that kind of foreshadows the story. But, then you pick up later on, pick up earlier before you ever get here. And that's what goes here, Halloween nights, fearful sights, and then we get the Phantom Stranger always kind of going, opens every issue after you read them with a kind of a warning to what's going on around him. If there was some magic to hold the mirror of truth, how many of us even look at it? And talking about monsters, dude, this is Phantom of the Stranger. Or not Phantom of the Stranger, Phantom of the Opera. Phantom of the Opera. We got a werewolf, and then the creature from the Black Lagoon. These dudes are just out killing people. They break into this guy's house.
Yeah, it's Happy Halloween fun.
Yeah, it's like we're doing both the tricking and the treating.
Mm-hmm.
You want my wallet? It's on the bureau, and they kill this poor dude. And that's kind of what. So this is because this is a little weird issue to read. So I guess this happens, and I'm gonna say these guys have some connection to the mob or something, which is in the next page it picks up on. A few minutes later, hey, that's it, boss. They close the Ruskin deal. So they go and kill the Ruskin deal, I guess, is the guy that they just killed. Send his poor widow $500 worth of flowers with my condolences. And you see this guy's talking, and he says, hey, you got to have talent and such. He's talking to somebody else, and then he's like, I'm off to the opera. Really? The mob's going to the opera. Yeah, it says, so they held him up because he was waiting to hear from the three dudes that just killed Ruskin. So now that they're there, he'll make it to the opera in time. And they go to head out. But before he gets to the car, he has this like pain in his head, like a massive, migraine headache comes up. And he starts screaming. And his butler / limo driver's like, hey, I can't go to the opera. Take me to Dr. Zorn. You understand? So they take him to Dr. Zorn, who I'm going to guess, I can't remember. It's been a long time since I read all the Phantom Stranger books. Must have been a previous character, or was he in Dead Man? Do you remember?
He was around the DC universe and had tangled with Phantom Stranger quite a few times.
Yeah. So he's a recurring character. Yeah, because the Phantom Stranger seems to know him. So he
and this is my apology real quick, because last week I said, and the Human Target's in it too. I go, no, that's the mob guy standing right there with his shirt off on the top right panel. Tell me he's not drawn just like the old Human Target.
I probably wouldn't noticed it until you bring it up.
Which suspiciously looks a lot like Reed Richards, but
he does. Damn it, or Doctor Strange. So the thing is so Dr. Zorn, we discover here, which is treating this guy for his headache. Hey, and he's got a problem there. Let me examine you, make sure everything's going all right. Apparently, his the little laser that he flashes in this guy's eyes, like hypnotizes him, and then he can find out whatever he wants to know from this guy. So he does it. Dr. Zorn does, and he's like, "Hey, I want to get make sure that all my money goes to the account." So he's getting 10% of all the syndicate money, and whatever else. Oh, change the page. There's another ad. Kung Fu.
Everyone was Kung Fu fighting. I always wanted those and could never find them anywhere.
What, the stickers?
Yeah.
Now they're called Fatheads.
Yeah, you got to buy them someplace besides Fathead, because Fathead charges like $100 and up per piece.
Do they have any that are like superheroes?
Some. What I like that's better than those is there's a company called Displate, and it's basically like metal posters and art that cover everything.
Oh yeah.
Comic books, like all the popular comic book characters have like a zillion of them. Of course, there's a ton of like Star Wars and Boba Fett and Mandalorian and even more Grogu. But what it is these things you put this, you clean your wall with like Windex or whatever, or a wipe, to make sure it's clean. You put this piece on your, attach it to your wall, and the side that's facing out of like this small like rectangular piece is like super magnetized. So you put these plates up.
I seen it, and it just sticks.
And once you decide where you want placement of disc plates, no matter what they are, you just leave that piece up, but you can take the actual art down and switch it out for different things.
Yeah, no nails or anything else.
The problem is,
all right, so
the smallest version of disc plate is $44.95 a piece.
Oh, wow. Okay. Huh. I think I'd seen those. So, all right. So back to we're at the office here, the doctor's office, and Zorn is still checking out our man here to make sure he's okay. And as he's going, the syndicate leader here is just spilling his beans. He's letting him know everything that's going on, all the stuff that the mob has got going on, letting him know that his money's going to be there. And at the end, Zorn, just wraps it up. He's like, "Hey, that's good. I got all, got everything done. You're back to good, back to normal." And the guy asked him, "Hey," he said, "Thanks, Doc. You're a magician." He says, "I'm sending 2 more motorized wheelchairs to your clinic." So he actually doesn't realize that these damn headaches are being caused by Dr. Zorn to get his regular checkups. And there's probably nothing wrong with him.
Mm-hmm.
But once he feels better, he leaves. And he heads outside and he gets upset. He's like, "Where the hell's my driver at?" And you see right here at the bottom, he says, "I gave him the rest of the night off, Ubrick." And of course, he turns around and says, "Who said that? Or what? And there's our phantom stranger. I mentioned certain things he thought he alone knew, and he drove off in a panic." So phantom stranger basically showed up, pulled some magic out of his hat, terrified this poor guy, and the driver drove off. And he lets him know, "Hey, what's more frightening than facing one's own dark secrets?" Now, I know we haven't mentioned it, but earlier, actually last week, Adams passed away.
Yeah, Neil Adams.
And yep. And you realize that we get this look from the Phantom Stranger because he actually was the one that redesigned him.
Yeah.
He did 1 issue, 4. And in issue 4 is when he redesigned the Phantom Stranger, because before that he didn't have the big medallion and the chains. His didn't really have a long cape. It was more like just a shorter cape and the trench coat and the hat. So he's now we leave Phantom Stranger there talking to Ubrick. As up above, we just find out that Dr. Zorn is going through his office's files, and he's been recording all of the people that come in that he's treating, and they're basically spilling the beans on all the bad stuff they've done, crime-wise, whatever. So he has been recording all this, and he's using it as blackmail material to get more information from anybody he needs, and make sure that they don't step out of line. And then this is where he hears it while he's listening to the tapes. We hear it says a guy named Boston Brand had to be removed. A gun was removed from a New Orleans hawk shop, and even the cops don't know that. So Dr. Zorn hears this, and he's like, "Okay, here's my chance. Only the police or only the killer will know where the gun comes from. So if the police finds out who has the gun and who knew where it come from, they'll arrest him." So he thinks to himself, "Hey, I'll use this information to blackmail the Phantom Stranger." And he says, which this is, I know we've talked about the powers of the Phantom Stranger in the few issues we've read before, hey, if I use my, if I think about the Phantom Stranger, he'll hear me and come to me. But unbeknownst to Dr. Zorn there, when he starts thinking about Boston Brand and everything, Boston Brand actually feels it. And he takes off because he's looking for his killer. And all he knows is that the killer's name or whoever's related to the killer, their name begins with Z. So he heads off that way. On the way, Boston stops, sees these guys mugging another guy, and he hops in. He can take over anybody's body. So he takes over his body and just beats the hell out of the guy. And he's like, hey, I'm doing this, to keep myself, up to speed for when I find who really killed me. Oh, man. Whoa, there you go. 204 Revolutionary War soldiers, only 225. Woo-hoo. There's your 100-page giant ad. We need to read some romance novels or romance comics one time just to see. Vampirella is not a romance comic. All right, so Phantom Stranger Part 2, Strangest of Enemies. So Dr. Zorn, is in his office, and here comes the Phantom Stranger. And Zorn says, hey, let's bury the past. We'll get over it. I saw you went to a recent New Orleans pawn shop. There was a gun in the window. It's kind of strange. And the Phantom Stranger, he just comes out. He's a gun from a New Orleans pawn shop. What nonsense are you trying to threaten me with? He says, nothing. I'm not trying to trick you. Let's just, get over this. And so he's got to be a recurring character in one of the other issues. You're going to make me go look it up now. Stranger actually says he's killed a bunch of people. And then, of course, he keeps going on. Hey, it's no trick. I saw a gun made by Boston Brand with a strange hex sign on it. And, of course, here's Phantom Stranger just kind of playing into it because he doesn't know what's going on. A gun marked Boston Brand with a hex, objects don't create evil, only evil men like you. And he keeps going on. And finally, Phantom Stranger just leaves. He, flies out the window. And then when he flies out the window, Zorn there is starting to listen to the tape he was trying to record. And he got Phantom Stranger to basically say everything. And now he's splicing it and putting it together so that it says, you can hear the Phantom Stranger say, I killed Boston Brand with a gun from a New Orleans pawn shop. So when he gets that from him, Boston is now outside and he moves in to see what the hell's going on. And as he shows up, Zorn's going to call the police because he's going to get the police over. He's going to show them his evidence, and hopefully they'll track down Phantom Stranger. But when he goes to do that, Boston shows up and stops the phone call. He's like, he hangs it up. And then after he hangs it up, the phone, Boston Brand, who can't read people's minds. When he enters their body, he still can't read their minds. So he doesn't know what's going on. But he listens to the tape, and all he hears is that the Phantom Stranger killed Boston Brand. So he gets upset at the Phantom Stranger. He's like, hey, there it is. And the thing that's funny here is, if you read the little, the little part in the back, it says, Dead Man learned about Phantom Stranger's existence from Batman. I don't know what issue that was in, but so that's where Batman told Phantom. Yeah, we'll have to find it. Batman informs Dead Man that there is a guy named the Phantom Stranger, but he thinks he's just a normal human. That's the whole thing. Even with the trick earlier in this issue, Phantom Stranger's almost omnipotent. How does he not know that Dr. Zorn's trying to trick him? I mean, he knows damn near everything. Is he just letting him do it because he wants this whole scenario to play out? That's the whole thing that's kind of cool and confusing about the character sometimes. So anyway, Boston Brand has him, and Phantom Stranger returns. He just shows up. And when he shows up, of course, Boston now in Zorn's body hears him, and he's like, hey, you're here, the Phantom Stranger. He thinks he's going to get his revenge. So he attacks him and hits him one good time. And then as he starts to hit him again, he rears back. Phantom Stranger's disappearing and reappearing in the room. around him. So Boston's like, what's going on? He doesn't realize that he's just like moving out of the way. And finally, the Phantom Stranger tells him, he says, hey, you've killed other people, but you've never been physical like this. Obviously, you're not the same person. Something is going on here. Phantom Stranger tells you, hey, the note of deceit seems to have vanished from your voice, Doctor, but it'll not be taken. Like your legion of hapless patients. And with that, the Phantom Stranger leaves. And story picks up next day at the airport with some more mob people coming in. And they get into town and they rush in to see Uric here. We got our name, was it Koo and Marzin. Any trouble getting here? And they tell him, your chauffeur had issues, but they're upset that, sad news that Ruskin died. He was the competition in town, but that leaves only him to deal business with. So he's trying to rack up this, I guess it's drug trade or whatever, counterfeit trade.
Yeah, he's trying.
There it goes.
Whoop, tank trap. Whoop.
Yeah.
He's trying to
tank trap.
Yeah. He's trying to wrap up and be the head of all the families in that city. So everybody's going to go through him, so he gets a cut of everybody. But then
on top of that, Zorn gets his cut of 10%.
Yeah, and they're not happy with him because they were getting guarantees from the other guy who Zorn helped wipe out, and so it's a sticky wicket.
Yep. So with all that going on, now we're getting was it Blind Alley Blues? So this is part 3 of our story. So here's Dr. Zorn, and he's got all this. He's got Ulrich's file and some edited tape. So he reads it all, and then he thinks after the Phantom Strangers left that this guy has obviously kind of blackmailed the Phantom Stranger, tricked him into saying this. Mm-hmm. So it's got to be something else. So I need to go and get Uric, and then I'll fix him, which is kind of cool here. He says, hey, I'll put Zorn out. So Dead Man actually makes him eat a bunch of damn sleeping pills and pass out so he can't wake up and call freaking Uric and let him know, dude, something happened. I don't know what was going on. And Dead Man, of course, heads straight to Uric. And when he shows up, counterfeit negotiables, also gun traffic, and only the drugs remain an issue. So here's all the people talking about political protection, all their stuff with Uric, and they're trying to essentially secure their guarantees from him. And as they're talking, they're fighting and such, starting to get in fights, and then Dead Man shows up, and he's like, okay, he just takes over
in that pose right there, aka Black Panther.
Yeah. I like Dead Man. I like this look on the character. I like the old, and this is kind of like a Neil Adams come up with this look, because it was after that, if we keep talking about Neil with him recently going. But the thing is as good as this look is, I think the Kelly Jones look is better. Because when I think of Dead Man, I think of the skeleton and everything else. And that's probably one of my favorite comics if you read Love After Death, like ever. And I read it, I don't remember, dude, 10th grade when it came out, and it was amazing.
I really like the like I've shown you my Dead Man figure from Kingdom Come, where he's just like, a skeleton falling apart out of the costume, which I think is like,
the Alex Ross one.
Yeah, which is like, that is like the best figure ever.
Well, the thing is, I know we're kind of tangenting here because we're still talking about the comic, but we're talking about the figure here and the look. Is if you think about it, it makes perfect sense because at this point he hasn't been dead long.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I know comic continuity is a little off, but he hasn't been dead long here, so he's still pretty much a full body. And then if you go 40 years or 30 years afterward, yes, Dead Man is amazing. 30 years afterwards, and then you get to the Love After Death, you get to Kelly Jones. He's all emaciated, and he's almost a skeleton. And then you go to the future again, and you get to Alex Ross. He's a skeleton because it's all gone. So, I mean, it makes sense in a way, in comic book way.
Yeah, he basically rotted away, but he still exists.
Yeah, he's still there. So, so Dead Man shows up and just takes over Urich's body. And when he turns around, he's like, hey, got these ice cubes. And he's going on, and he's just spouting stuff now. He's not really making any sense. Of course, then we get this, here's a, I guess it's a some kind of informant that's listening in up top who, is going to do something. When the butler chauffeur shows up.
Yeah, that's a government dude. That's a CIA agent.
Yeah, something. So he gets taken out by the chauffeur butler and taken down there. He say, hey, I got one of the guys on our roof, and he's a big-eared federal pigeon. So he gets him down there, and the mobsters are like, okay, so you're the guy that you want us to be your boss, or you want to be the boss, take care of everything, Urich. Take care of this guy for us. So they give him a gun, and he's like, okay, if I kill this guy, they'll make, if I don't kill this guy, they'll kill me. And if I do, then they'll trust me. So he's actually got the gun, and you didn't realize this when we start reading the story, kind of do here, but Phantom Stranger always shows up to stop people from doing something they shouldn't do, from, doing their bad deeds. And as soon as Dead Man gets the gun, the Phantom Stranger shows up. He says, you can't do it. With all your talk, nothing counts with the man who killed me. You can't kill this guy because he's innocent. And, of course, Dead Man can see him, and he's like, what in the world is going on? And Phantom Stranger lets him know, hey, I'm invisible. The only person who can see me is you. So he finally decides, well, it doesn't matter. I can't die. So he goes to raise the gun. Oh, more ads. And he's actually going to shoot the government agent. But Phantom Stranger comes up to him again and tells him, he says, you're not going to do it. Is there any limit to your depraved need for revenge? And, of course, all the other mobsters around him are like, hey, who's this Phantom Stranger you're talking about? And they finally take the gun away from him because they realize he's not going to shoot the government agent. And when he does, kind of by, I guess instinct, Urich / Dead Man jumps in front of the gunshots and saves him by accident. And then when he does,
hey, I need a minute.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Okay,
Lord.
You take.
So I got it. So after Dead Man jumps in front of the CIA agent or the informant and saves him, he actually takes or leaves the body, and he confronts the Phantom Stranger because he's really upset. Urich was his lead to whoever killed him. And he's so upset, and he confronts him about it. And he's like, hey, you've stopped me from finding out who killed me. And the Phantom Stranger just does like he does in every issue. Hey, you saved an innocent man's life. You didn't do what you should. Now everything is going to be, even in you. When he hears that, Dead Man just doesn't want any of it, and he packs off and leaves, and kind of leaves the CIA agents there to take over and bring in all the mob. So that was it. Oh, here's the mail page that William was talking about earlier. Yeah, so before we begin the usual round of letters about this issue, surprising guest star and guest artist, Dead Man. For those of you who have been asleep for the past 8 years, the spirit of circus acrobat Boston, I didn't realize it was 8 years. So 8 years would have put, this is 74, so we're talking 66 is when Dead Man first appeared. I think it's in Strange Adventures 205. I had to numbers may be off, but yeah, Boston Brand was murdered by a mysterious man with a hook and given life after death with supernatural powers by Rama Krishna. He eventually found a criminal organization which he thought was responsible for his murder, though later evidence proved they were not. So he's been hunting for a new lead ever since, beginning with the Forever People 2 years ago. Our guest artist has a short career to his record, but an equally promising when Mike Grell walked into our offices last summer, fresh from working on his assistant on Brenda Starr, and picked up a regular series assignment, Aquaman. His first work for National appeared Adventure 435 2 weeks ago. Since then, he's taken on the Legion of Superheroes regularly and a number of irregular assignments. You'll be seeing more of his work in this Black magazine when he takes over Black Orchid series in a few months. Now back to the mail. Oh yeah, that's right. The one of the backup series in the Phantom Stranger was Black Orchid. Now Black Orchid is really a cool character. She made her first appearance in like Adventure Comics 425, I think it is. I'm not sure, but I didn't realize that that Grell actually drew the backup Black Orchid stories.
So I'm like,
I did read the.
I just pulled that up. It said Adventure Comics 435.
435 or 4? It's 4 something for Black Orchid.
No,
for first appearance.
The first his Grell's first work.
His work. Yeah, it's Adventure 435.
So I've got Adventure 435 and he's not listed. It's all Jim Aparo.
Ugly. But you remember how back in the day they didn't always credit everybody?
Well,
Adventure Comics 435 is a Spectre issue.
And it's a key issue.
Jim Aparo. If I tell you I got a couple of them, won't you?
Probably. I think I've got this one somewhere. I went back and I started when they brought Spectre back through Adventure Comics. I started grabbing some of them, but they're like they're like $20 or $30 a piece. So
yeah, I've got super nice copies of all of them because I had to have them. But if you drop it down, it's Spectre. It's Spectre. But
there it is.
2 issues in the story because it's Aquaman. Yeah.
Yeah. Grell did Aquaman. Yeah.
Mike Grell. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. So.
Yep.
This is gonna be like when I do Rhode Island Comic Con in November. I'm gonna have to remember this cover when I'm going through my books, and if I've still got this, because Grell was there last year, but I missed him because he got there like so late.
Yeah.
But I'd like to be able to bring this, be like, hey, you mind signing your first work from DC?
Dude, I did that. I did it. I wish I would have got him to sign something else because the only copy I had at the time was kind of crappy. But I got Wrightston to sign his first work for Marvel, which was like Tower of Shadow 7 or something like that.
Oh man.
I should have had him sign a Swamp Thing issue or something. But that's when I don't know. I was more worried about value or something. My brother was telling me, "Hey, don't have him sign your Swamp Thing #1. You know, it's like super nice." But
yeah, but it's also like,
all right,
he's probably sick of signing that.
Yeah, he is. I'm sure he is. So another Swamp Thing #1. All right, so we have brought him up a couple times. This is what you was talking about earlier. I did get the issue I wanted to read next week is actually in this book. This is the Brave and the Bold, like I said, Volume 1. Brave and Bold Volume 1, which is, of course, Batman and whoever. And
early ones,
the thing
were
is I did not
two
realize
other people. Batman didn't come on as a perfect, as a staple mainstay #1 character till later in the run.
Yes, I looked up Brave and the Bold #1 a while back because I was like, hey, let's read Brave and the Bold #1. And Brave and the Bold #1 has Hercules and Prince Valiant or something. And I was like, what in the world? It's kind of crazy. But most of this book is Neil Adams. The entire
beautiful.
Brave and the Bold Batman Neil Adams story run is in this book. Every issue.
I've got all but one of the Neil Adams Batman hardcovers. That's, a history of Neil through Batman.
Yeah.
They're like 50,
I've got them.
They were like $50 a piece. I've looked through them and just, tried not to drool on them.
And I picked this up for other stuff, but yeah, it's see the whole Batman Deadman story is here.
Oh, you want to do that?
Where he finds he's looking for his murderer.
Mm-hmm. And of course goes to the world's greatest detective.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh.
So
I almost had that one.
Really?
I just couldn't. It was like around $35 in the bidding war, and then some guy just dropped and said $100.
Just dropped $100 on it
because it was probably like a good solid like 8.5 to 9.0 copy.
Okay.
And
I was looking because I was like, we got to do something. Just I know we've read some Neil before, but I'm like, what have we not read by him that's not a huge run? I mean, and I was like, the Avengers run is awesome. Pretty much everything he did Batman. I was like, do we want to read Batman? Was it 244 and 245? The Return of the Demon. We want to read that. Yeah. There's what do we want to read that hasn't been showcased so much? Because but we're talking about Neil Adams, not My Little Pony.
My Little Pony.
And so I was looking at like top 10 best list, and I didn't know this because, and this is, I guess, because Neil was so good, so influential at the time, they had him redo everybody. He did Phantom Strange. He redesigned Phantom Stranger. He kind of took over Dead Man and did some redesign work there. I did not know, but I found this on a link, and it's in this book. But Brave and the Bold 85 is Batman and Green Arrow, and this is the new Green Arrow. Neil Adams redesigned Green Arrow for this and made him look like Robin Hood. So the Green Arrow that everybody loves made his first appearance here. Before this, he looked different.
Yeah. He looked like a very plain Robin Hood.
Yeah, exactly, with the weird thing, weird hat or whatever.
Yep.
But this was on a number of the 10 best lists, and I'm like, I have never read this issue. So I was thinking we could do that one next week.
Yeah, just send it over to me.
I don't know. But this was, I went to Ollie's, and we had a new one open recently nearby. And I know these are all, like, what do you want to call them? They're brand new merchandise, but they've been passed down to the discount store. This book retailed for $35. It was $8. I found a bunch of stuff. I got that. I did pick up this, and I'm still debating whether I'm gonna open it or put it online for sale.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some of them going for around $50 online, and I paid $8 for it. And I showed you the Swamp Thing I picked up.
Mm-hmm.
I did get a Silver Age Flash Volume 2. I have never read a lot of the Flash. He has never been a character that really spoke to me, if that makes any sense. But then when I got to looking in here, I'm like, well, who the hell did all this? And what's funny is Gardner Fox and John Broome wrote all of these stories. Gardner Fox is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Carmen Infantino, whatever, and Murphy Anderson, Joe Gilla, also. Those are the only 3 artists here. So it's Infantino and Anderson.
Infantino is
probably
amazing. Infantino is to Flash is what Jim Aparo is to Brave and the Bold.
Yes, and what's bad is he's one of my favorite artists. Holy crap, dude! This one's in there.
Oh yeah, that's a bargain because I don't think either of us can afford to buy like that actual book.
No, dude, that book's thousands.
Yeah, it's like 35 or something.
But yeah, it's $3,500, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
But yeah, he's one of my favorite artists, and I love Murphy Anderson. Murphy Anderson's the same way. Murphy Anderson's just stupid good. So I was I paid, for $7, I can't beat it. The only thing that kind of gets me is I did get this, and it's Dark Knight Returns, and I've got the singles, and I've got 1 or 2 hardcovers. I don't know, but this is the Batman Noir. I understand that Batman is the most popular character DC has, and he literally carries their damn company. And everybody wants the whole Noir thing, but I was thumbing through it, and I'll show you some of the art. And you've seen it before. And I understand it's just black and white now, but it just seems to me like this was not intended to be just black and white.
Dark Knight Returns,
and I know it wasn't because it's originally come out in color.
Yeah. The thing about that is there's a lot of people, especially artists and up and coming people that are studying, that will study the greats. They'll go to Kirby school, and the brothers will be like, you need to study this artist, study their line work, see how their composure was. And access to their black and white work is the best way to do that.
I mean, I guess, but I mean, if you look at that page and you look at and I don't have the actual color version of it, but you remember the colors of this because you read the whole book, and when you read the book, everything Batman's in Dark Knight Returns is black. It's dirty. It's gray. It's nasty. It's freaking Gotham. It's a damn cesspool. And then here comes Superman standing next to Ronnie Reagan. And this page is like brightly colored, super blue. You got the white clouds in the background. There's Ronnie. Superman's got his hair poking out of his chest and he's talking. This is so bright compared to the page before it in the actual book. Yeah. It just, I don't know. It
hurts your eyes.
It really, I mean, you look at, it's not Sin City. I understand.
But that page looks like Sin City.
Doesn't it? It does. And I see that's one of the pages that I can say, okay, that works. But then
it's like, I wonder why it looks like, oh, that's right. It's Frank. Never mind.
Yeah, that's why it looks like this. So you remember, if you read this, which I know you've read it. Let me see if I can find it here. When Superman first shows up in this book and talks to Batman, he talks to Batman, and he shows up, and he's just like a blue and red light across the screen.
Yeah, just a blur, yeah.
Or not the screen, but like a blur. Dude, it's not even, you don't even see Superman. It's just a freaking blur, and you can hear the little voice bubbles. Hey, Bruce, we have to talk. And meanwhile, Batman's like freaking out because Superman's over there melting down guns, and that's when the lady's got her boobs are hanging out, and she's got the little Nazi symbol on her butt and everything else.
Well, I didn't like her tattoo,
I don't know.
But the other part is pretty good.
I mean, I don't know. I'd have to look at the original again, but yeah, that's my idea on it. I was just like, are they printing this in black and white just because they can and people will buy it? Mm-hmm. And I looked online to see what they're going for, and I think they said $25 or $35 on eBay was a great price. I'm like, really? So,
do you know?
I don't know.
There's not a lot of Ollies like nationwide, and I know there's a ton of people that are raiding Ollies just to resell books.
That's what literally I thought of. I was like, if they're selling, if $25 is a great price for this book, and I buy it for $7 at Ollie's
and sell it for $20 on eBay,
and pop it up there for 20 on eBay, I'm making $13 profit. That's like the mask. That's why I'm thinking the mask thing unopened on eBay, $50 was a great price. I paid $8 for it. The
you
mask
sell it for $50
cool.
free
That's
shipping.
Why I thought about. Yeah, 50. Yeah, I mean, so I bet some people are on there charging shipping. Yeah, $50 free shipping. No matter if I sell it for $40, I'm still making 3 times what I paid for it.
And if you sell enough of that, you'd be able to buy me the Phantom Stranger Omnibus for my birthday.
If they're going to print it, they still haven't. Haven't said they're going to print it yet.
I know. It's just terrible, but
yep.
So next week, we're going to do a little Brave and the Bold action.
Yep.
The first
85.
The first, as we know him now, Green Arrow, redesigned by the late great Neil Adams. I'm still kicking myself in the butt that I didn't get anything signed by him when I met him in 2019. But I got to sit there while he was doing setup with his daughters and his hired hands, assistants and everything.
Yeah.
And I sat there and talked to him for a good solid 45 minutes. It was so nice.
Sweet. I will have to dig out through my stuff. I never met him in person, but I did buy something that he signed. I think, let me look and make sure it's the right number. I don't want to tell you wrong. If it's the one I think it is that I have that's signed by Neil Adams. I think I got to double check. I will bring the image up so you can see it. But if my memory serves me right, my internet's being slow. Oh God, it brought me to eBay when. What?
No, I'm just laughing. We said eBay in the stream, so now your computer just brought you to eBay. They're not listening or anything.
I think I have. There it is. You can pop it in there now.
Boom, boom, boom. Oh.
I'm pretty sure I have a 233 signed by Adams.
Oh. He hates that book.
It looks like this one's signed.
Yeah.
Do what?
He hates this book.
Yeah, he hates it. Why?
He hated it because it was his to like not to like deep dive fans, but to like the general public. This was like his most famous cover with Superman busting out of the kryptonite chains.
Oh, it's super famous.
And he told me he would get so mad because people would come up to him and ask him for his commission list, like his commission price. And he would tell them, depending on what you want done, if it's a full figure, it's going to be a lot more, talking into like thousands of dollars easily. And just about everybody, like 9 out of 10 people for like the longest time wanted him to redraw this. So he redrew it one year and put it on his website for sale. And he redrew the entire cover, like everything you see here. He put the Superman logo. He did like all the force lines and a bunch of other stuff. And it was like $15,000. So
did somebody buy it?
I think somebody eventually bought it. So he redrew it again. And raised the price because he didn't want to do it.
Dang it. If he was still around and I had a chance to get him to draw something like this, I would literally want him to draw something, that he hardly ever drew. I mean, he drew 1 million Supermans, 1 million Batmans. I think he drew Thor like 5 times, I mean, nothing. Hulk 2 or 3 times, I mean, how awesome would I know it sounds
X-Men.
crazy, like, X-Men a handful of times, but how awesome would it be to see and he could draw them because it's probably in one of the books, like a Neil Adams Galactus or something, something that nobody has. But anyway, that's my thought on that. I'll double check on that one, but I think I have that one signed. And then I'll get
that
you
one
the other
signed.
one
I would say pull it out next time you go to a convention if they've got like CGC or I would say CBCS. I think CGC does it now, but CBCS does the signature authentication.
Yeah,
they charge you for it, but they'll do like a yellow label. But anything if like this would if it's signed, that would definitely be worth getting graded.
Yeah. I'll look at it and let you know,
just,
man.
Just to preserve the the signature. But anytime you want to get anything graded, the first thing you want to do is you want to hire the company that's going to grade it to clean and press it. Because automatically, when you hire them to clean and press it, they're going to they give you like a little boost in your score. It's going to go up a little higher. Well, you gave us an extra $57, so knock that one up a couple of points. But it's only a 9.0. Make it a 9.4.
A 9.4.
It's like it doesn't matter. No two people grade the exact same way anyhow. So,
nope.
But okay, Thomas is going to get that over to me during the week, and we will catch everybody later. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you back here next Thursday for another episode of Okay, Boomer.
Bye, y'all.